What if you were chosen to save a nation, but doing so could cost you your life? This is the story of a young woman who stepped out in faith and rewrote history. Her name was Esther, and she was born for such a time as this. The Persian Empire was the largest and most powerful kingdom the world had ever seen. It stretched from India in the east to Ethiopia in the west, 127 provinces in all. At its center stood the city of Susa, the royal capital, a place of gold and splendor, of polished marble, silk, and spices. It was in this city that the mighty King Xerxes, son of Darius, ruled. King Xerxes was a man of wealth, war, and wine. In the third year of his reign, he held a royal celebration that lasted 180 days, a display of unmatched power, overflowing generosity, and royal vanity. He wanted the world to see that no one on earth could match the glory of Persia or his own. After the 180-day celebration, he hosted another feast, this one lasting 7 days, open to everyone in the capital, great and small. The palace shone with extravagance, golden goblets filled with wine, curtains of fine linen, marble floors with silver couches. And as the king hosted the men in his palace, his queen Vashti held a banquet for the women in her own royal house. On the 7th day, the king, drunk with wine and pride, made a foolish command. "Bring Queen Vashti before me, wearing her royal crown, so all may see her beauty." But Queen Vashti refused. In that moment, before nobles and servants, the king's ego was shattered. His advisors panicked. If word of her defiance spread, they feared all women across the empire would begin to disrespect their husbands. So they advised the king, "Let her be banished. Let a new queen be chosen." And Xerxes, embarrassed and enraged, agreed. Queen Vashti was never again allowed to enter the king's presence, and so the throne beside Xerxes sat empty. In the city of Susa, there lived a Jewish man named Mordecai. He was a descendant of those exiled from Jerusalem during the Babylonian captivity. He was faithful to God and known for his wisdom. Mordecai had a young cousin named Hadassah, also called Esther, a beautiful young woman with deep eyes and a kind heart. Esther had lost both her parents at a young age. Mordecai had taken her in and raised her as his own daughter. Then came a new royal decree. Let beautiful young women from every province be brought to the palace. Let the king choose a new queen from among them. Esther was among those chosen. Before she left, Mordecai pulled her aside. "Do not reveal that you are a Jew. Do not speak of your people or your God." She obeyed Mordecai, trusting him completely. She was taken into the care of Hegai, the eunuch in charge of the women. He was impressed by her gentle spirit and immediately showed her favor, giving her special food, beauty treatments, and servants to attend her. For 12 months, the women were prepared to meet the king, 6 months with oils of myrrh and 6 months with perfumes. When it was finally her turn, she requested nothing extra, only what Hegai advised. She didn't rely on her beauty alone. When she stood before King Xerxes, he was captivated. Esther found favor in his eyes more than any other. He placed the royal crown on her head and declared her Queen of Persia. A Jewish orphan now sat on the throne of the greatest empire on earth.
As queen,
Esther lived in the royal palace, but she continued to stay close to Mordecai, who often sat at the king's gate, observing and sending word. One day, Mordecai overheard a conversation between two of the king's guards. They were plotting to assassinate Xerxes. Mordecai quickly told Esther, and she informed the king in Mordecai's name. The plot was investigated and stopped. The incident was recorded in the royal chronicles, but Mordecai received no reward. Shortly after, a man named Haman was promoted to the highest rank of all officials under the king. The king commanded that all the officials at the gate bow to Haman. But Mordecai refused. He would bow to no one but God. Haman was enraged. He learned Mordecai's identity. He was a Jew. But Haman's hatred grew beyond one man. He didn't just want Mordecai dead. He wanted to destroy all the Jews in the Persian Empire. He approached the king. "There is a certain people scattered throughout your provinces. Their customs are different. They do not obey your laws. It is not in your interest to tolerate them. Let a decree be written to destroy them." The king, trusting Haman, gave him his signet ring and said, "Do with them as you please." So Haman sent out a decree. On the 13th day of the 12th month, all Jews, men, women, and children, were to be killed. The order was sent to every province, in every language, sealed with the king's authority. As news spread, fear gripped the hearts of the Jewish people. In every city, they wept, fasted, and mourned. And in the capital of Susa, the people were confused and terrified. When Mordecai heard of the decree, he tore his clothes, put on sackcloth and ashes, and went out into the city, crying loudly and bitterly. He stopped at the king's gate, for no one in a sackcloth was allowed inside the palace. Esther's servants saw him and reported his condition to her. Distressed, Esther sent him clean clothes, but he refused them. Instead, he sent her a message. "Do you not know what is happening? Our people are condemned. You must go to the king. You must plead for our lives." Esther replied, "All the king's servants know this. If anyone approaches the king without being summoned, they will be put to death, unless he extends the golden scepter. And I have not been summoned for 30 days. Mordecai's next words were firm and filled with faith. "Do not think that because you live in the palace you will escape. If you remain silent, deliverance will come from another place, but you and your family will perish. And who knows whether you have come to the kingdom for such a time as this?" The words pierced Esther's heart. She took a deep breath and sent this message back. "Gather all the Jews in Susa. Fast for me. Do not eat or drink for 3 days, night or day. My servants and I will do the same. Then I will go to the king, even though it is against the law. And if I perish, I perish."